Guys, a very happy new year to all of you. 2016, how did the year pass away? I don't know, but it had great movies, and today we are going to break down my best movies of 2016. So before diving into my best movies of 2016, I want to mention some honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is Kubo and the Two Strings. It was a great animated stop motion animation movie. I really was impressed by it, but there were better movies than that movie, so yeah, it didn't make the list. The second honorable mention is The Accountant. I really liked that movie. I watched that movie recently. I was really impressed by this movie, but really the last act of the movie, it was just like, why did you make a full cover up on the whole thing that happened in the end? So just that little nitpicky complaint in the end. So let's begin with my best movies of 2016. Do you want to see a magic trick? Watch this. I don't know it happened really nicely or what, but the 10th movie on my list is Now You See Me 2. I was not expecting this movie to be good. I really didn't know that this movie is based on magic, but someone told me that this movie is based on magic. The first part was really good. I went back and watched it, and I really liked that movie, and I went into this movie not expecting anything or not anticipating anything, but we got the greatest magic scene of all time. The bank scene in this movie is the greatest magic scene of all time by my opinion, because that scene was so thrilling and so humorous. I really liked that scene, and because of that scene I really liked this movie. This was a good movie based on magic. All the magic tricks were justified properly in this movie, and that was the main reason that made it to the best movies of 2016. This is the movie which is a spin-off of X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, you got that right. Deadpool. Many of you people are really let down because many of you people would put this movie higher on the list, and I also wanted this movie to go high up on my list, but there were many complaints and many negatives I had with this movie. The number one negative was this movie was a little bit boring in the middle, and it just didn't have good action going on through the whole movie. There was just the first action sequence and then the climax action sequence, but just because of the references throughout the movie and the funniness going on, the honest character Deadpool was shown on the big screen with the R-ratedness. I'm a kid just got me excited, and this is the 9th movie on my list. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which was the last movie I reviewed in 2016. I really thought this was a very enjoyable movie, and I didn't mention one character that I really liked in this movie, K2SO. I really liked that character. It was a huge, great droid. Humorous lines were given by him, and in one of the scenes he also says, I have a bad feeling about this. That just made me put this movie on this list, because the end climax scene actually felt like a real war. It just redefined Star Wars in a very different tone, which was a very dark tone and which was very different from the previous films. But I really thought this was a very enjoyable movie. Zootopia. This was my favorite animated movie of this year, because Zootopia, it had good humorous scenes for the kids, but it also had a good social message for the adults. Like, predators and prey have to live with each other in a society, and that was the thing that happens in many countries like India. There are many people of different religions, so we all have to live together, and that is the social message given in this movie for the adults. And before ending the talk about Zootopia, the character Flash, I really like that character. After Independence Day Resurgence came out, I was like, there are no good alien sci-fi movies coming in the future. But I was really wrong, because then in November, Arrival came out. This was the movie I was being waiting for since a very long time. I didn't know much about this movie, but from the first teaser trailer, I was like, this is going to be a very different sci-fi alien movie, a very mind-bending and a very different sci-fi alien movie. It was not a huge blockbuster. It was a very subtle, decent film with a very great drama vibe going on, because this movie is directed by the director of Sicario, and Prisoners Arrival is a great drama. I also did a movie review on this, but then I thought that this was not a good review for me. It just didn't give me the satisfactory feeling, so I deleted it. I was like, the whole movie is good and every scene intrigues you to know what is going to happen in the next scene, but the end climax just blows your mind. You are like, everything I was thinking from the start, I was totally wrong, and the end leaves you to make theories. I recommend you please check out Arrival. And the number 5 movie is Jungle Book. You're expecting this movie to be on my list because this movie CGI alone can be the best part of this movie, because the CGI of this movie never looks fake and it never lets you down. The origin story of Mowgli and the whole Jungle Book story has been properly explained in this movie, and the whole execution is really great. All the voice, this movie is the greatest voice casting ever in any live action or animated movie. The greatest part was Idris Elba playing Sher Khan. He just was into the character, and his voice just brings a different type of scariness to me. I was like, yeah, when I'm scared, that's the voice I remove from my throat. Really, really sorry. This movie, guys, I was not expecting this movie to be so good and be so high on my list. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. You can say by these glasses, I brought my new specs, which is of a Harry Potter style glasses, but Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was my favorite movie of this year. This movie was so impressive. I watched this movie 2 or 3 times and I really enjoyed it each time I watched it. And this movie never lets you down. Humorous scenes in this movie. Every time you laugh on those scenes and you really will love the story of this movie. I watched the whole Harry Potter series, but this is a movie not only for Harry Potter fans, but the people who have not watched the whole Harry Potter series will also love this movie, because this storyline takes place 8 years before Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And back there you can see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I read that book in 4 days. Can you believe it? That is the smallest time I ever took to read a book. I am not a guy who reads book. I am a guy who watches movies. But I was like, I watched the whole Harry Potter series. I have to read that book. And by my opinion, I really like that book. Marvel is the studio that can make any character great and humorous. Doctor Strange, a great, huge superhero movie and a very huge blockbuster. Doctor Strange was a great graphic CGI movie. The CGI never looked fake in this movie. The powers were explained properly in this movie. The origin story was very decently explained. Benedict Cumberbatch just was into the role, and it also gave a great message in the movie that it is not about you, and that is the message I really think that should be given in every superhero movie, that there should be a moral or a message, except there is the Deadpool movie. There will never be a message for kids or adults in the Deadpool movies. Yeah. But Doctor Strange, I thought, was a great Marvel film. Marvel proved itself that they can make any character great, and the last act of this movie just blew my mind, because it was very different from the basic action sequences that happen in the end of superhero movies nowadays. There's just opening up a portal and there are many things coming out of space. That is the only thing that happens, but this time they brought the time stone and the whole time effect just blew my mind. It was really impressive. Tell me, did you like my movie? Batman versus Superman. I really feel very free. So, Number 2 movie is Batman v Superman. I'll just hold this Batman as I talk to you about this movie. So Batman vs Superman was my most anticipated movie of 2016, and by my opinion it lived up to the hype. When I first watched this movie in the theater, I was just blown away by the 3D effects and the whole storyline. I thought the darkness in this movie was used properly, and Batman vs Superman, by my opinion, it was a good DC film. For my expectations, it just lived up to the hype. But then when I went on and watched the extended edition, I was just let down. I thought it was a little bit boring. We wanted more action. And then when I went on and watched this movie again and again, I was justified by the reasons that they gave in the extended edition, and I really loved this movie. This is the second best movie of 2016. Are you happy, Batman? Yeah. Oh, that just... Oh! Bathe yourself sometime. The whole Batmobile action, all the action sequences were top notch. I really loved all the action sequences. Just there were some nitpicky complaints, but then too, this was one of my most anticipated movies of 2016, and it lived up to the hype. This is the moment you've all been waiting for, the number 1 movie. Before I say my number 1 movie, I have to say many of you people are pissed off that I've put Batman vs Superman as the second movie, but I'm all about expectations. I had great expectations with these two movies, the second movie that is Batman vs Superman and the number 1 movie that I'm about to say. These movies I had total expectations for, and I'm all about expectations. These are the movies that I expected to be great, and they were great. You would say that there are better movies than this. Of course, I agree with you, but these two are the movies that were expected to be great, and these were great. And the number 1 movie of 2016 is Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was a great action movie. It had the best Joker ever, and the whole editing scenes were like boo, 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 boo. The characters were great. The character development was great. The storyline, everything, great, great, great. Just kidding, guys. Can you just believe it? Suicide Squad as the best movie of 2016. It was one of my hated movies of 2016. But the best movie of 2016 is Captain America Civil War. Captain America Civil War was my most anticipated movie of 2016, and it lived up to the hype. From the first trailer to the second trailer, with the reveal of Spider-Man in the second trailer, I'm glad that there was more Spider-Man in the movie. The first half of the movie was a Captain America movie. There was very seriousness, and all that led to the big war that was the airport battle, where we got to see Giant Man. Many people will say there are many flaws in this movie. I also agree with you. A common man can do so much harm to the whole Avengers team was very unbelievable. But then too, we can give them some liberty for that, because they just took an attempt to bring a good Marvel movie and a good Civil War movie. And all the flaws in this movie, I can just give it up, because the airport battle was great. Because we got to see...
Guys,
And
holy shit!
And I can just go forever, because there are just so many money shots in this movie. I went to watch this movie first day for show in IMAX 3D. This was my number 1 best movie of 2016. So guys, it was my best movies of 2016. Please be updated for the worst movies of 2016, and also the Bollywood's best and worst list. Please be updated for those. And guys, if you like this video, please like and share this video, and please guys subscribe and tell me in the comments below which are your best movies of 2016. So guys, always remember, wherever there are movies, there is Aamir. So guys, see you next time.